Hello everyone and welcome to episode 3 of Adventures in Osaka. Recapping the past week, I did take my placement test and did not do super well. So what ended up happening is that I am the top student in the bottom class. But that's fine. I think it's better than being the worst student in the best class, honestly, because it just means I'm just gonna be struggling. This way we can all struggle together. And we also kind of learn each other's languages a little bit. Like, I'm obviously in Japanese class learning Japanese, but I also randomly learn words of Chinese here and there, and, Italian here and there. During this week, we're also supposed to be shopping around for elective classes because international relations was canceled. So that's one of the classes most relevant to my major. So now I have to figure something else out to take. And one of the options that we have is Japanese spirituality, which I did decide to take for the rest of the semester because I think spirituality and religion is relevant to understanding a country's culture, and understanding a country's culture helps you understand its politics and its democracy. So I did decide to take it. And it's kind of an interesting class. We have a few minutes of meditation every day. Moving on from the week in general into yesterday, we were originally going to get a group together to go do karaoke, but me and some of the other girls from my building decided to go back to Umeda, which is the big city center in Osaka, and do some shopping. I seem to have kind of been adopted by the Chinese students who live in this building with me. I don't really know how it happened. It just kind of did. I mean, they're very nice, but sometimes it's kind of funny when I'm like hanging out in their group like I tend to, that they'll kind of turn to me and start talking in Chinese like it's natural, and I'll just be like, and they'll be like, wait, hang on. But I am, picking up some words here and there, not like the bad ones, but just the little ones. So hopefully I can come back to America with a bigger vocabulary in a lot of ways. But so two of the other girls decided to take me with them, and they helped me get my train pass and my IC card. Now the train pass is something to use like on the train if you frequently go back and forth between two stops. You can just buy the card, and then you don't have to keep buying a ticket every single time. You can just send the card through and then take it out when you're done, which is nice. So I've got that squared away for the rest of the semester. Well, not the rest of the semester. It's 3 months about, which should mostly cover it, but at the end I'll have to pay, which is fine. But what we also bought was the IC card, which looks like this. The nice thing about the IC card is it's essentially a point card. You can load it up at a convenience store, at a stand, at the station, the train station, and put money on it, and then you can pay for the train tickets, you can pay for bus rides. You just slide this little card through, and you don't have to worry about like cash, because otherwise a lot of places won't always take credit cards or debit cards, but they will take that point card. So got that, and it is pretty convenient. And the nice thing is that you buy it for 500 yen, and then apparently when you leave the country, you just give the card back, and then you get that 500 yen deposit back. So, it's pretty convenient. And it was nice having the two of them there because being Chinese, they can read kanji. They can read Chinese characters, where I am not so great at that. So filling out the application was a little bit easier with them there. So I'm glad that I went with them. And we had dinner there in Umeda, which we decided to have donburi. So what I talked about last video about katsudon, which is kind of a fusion of tonkatsu, which is what we had last time, and donburi. This time we had donburi. So I had Don. I'm probably it's probably a different pronunciation of kanji for pork, but I know it as buta. So pork donburi, and it was very good at that restaurant in Umeda. And then we went back. We were originally going to go to karaoke, but by the time we got done in Umeda, it was late and we were tired, so we just went back. So then today, we got a big informal group together to go see the Yamayaki festival in Nara. Nara is a prefecture that neighbors Osaka. Like I'd say, ultimately the trip there and back took me about 2,000 yen, which is like 20 bucks, which is, less I would pay if I were to have driven the same distance there and back to, like, in the States. The thing with that was such a big group, like, there was like 20 of us, because more, like, one person would invite one person, and then that person would invite some other people, and then I don't know, ended up being this big, massive group of almost all of the international students this semester, because we all wanted to go, because Nara is famous for the deer that are so friendly, they'll just walk right up to you, and I can verify this is true. I didn't get videos, it was a little late. The sun was starting to go down because that's when the Yamayaki festival happens. So I only got some pictures. Maybe next time if we go to Nara, I will get some videos of me interacting with deer. Maybe. But we were there for the Yamayaki festival. But plenty of times, like, the group would get separated because some people would walk slow and some people would walk fast. And then some of the people walking fast would kind of be like, wait, and then some of them wouldn't. So there would be like 3 groups at any time. There's one far ahead, one far behind, and one in the middle trying to figure out where everyone is. So we would, like, every time we would eventually find each other. Like during the festival, we were all together, all like 20 of us. And I will hopefully edit some beautiful videos and pictures in right now. Wow.
Oh, you can feel the warmth. Yeah. Oh, ski. I'm just going to move forward a little bit. Oh, I can feel it on my face. Oh, sugoi. So this is the Yamayaki, the burning of the mountain in Nara. This is Wakakusa-san, Wakakusa Mountain, in Nara. Okay.
So, as you saw, it was pretty great. I mean, it was cold, and you can probably hear some of us complaining about that a little bit in the video, but the fireworks display was great, and the actual burning of the mountain was kind of amazing. And then when we were on our way back, the groups did eventually get separated. But fortunately, it seemed like every group kind of had the good sense for everyone to kind of gather around one person who was better at knowing where we were and how to get back. So we all kind of, like, everyone was pretty much set in terms of getting back, I think. I'm not super worried that I'll wake up tomorrow and find that somebody is still in Nara. I'm pretty sure everyone is able to make their way back. Like, our group, after we got done eating, because everyone was hungry before they went to Nara, because there's so many restaurants, like, stands like all the way down streets in Japan that you can just smell everything and it smells delicious. So you get hungry so fast. And it was the same thing with the Yamiyaki festival. There were stands everywhere and we were just like, oh, I'm so hungry. But we wanted to eat somewhere warm. Like stands are nice, but you know, it's cold. So after we got done eating, we just decided to go back to Osaka. Um, and we actually got back out of the station and right away ran right into one of the other groups. So we know that they got back safe. So to end the video with some things that I have noticed or found surprising in Japan, or just, you know, not something you think about happening back in the States. Number one, it is not uncommon. In fact, it's probably more common than not for men in Japan to have purses. Like, I just don't think there's really a negative stereotype around it. And Osaka people are apparently notoriously more straightforward than a lot of Tokyo people. So honestly, I think if you're a foreigner, it's probably going to be easier for you to go to Osaka than to go to Tokyo, like to get integrated into the atmosphere first. Um, because like I watched a lot of videos when I was getting ready to come here about like culture things that foreigners have difficulty with. And one of them is in a lot of places in Japan, people are very closed off. And if you're doing something rude, nobody's going to tell you. Like, they're really strict about not talking on the train. Like, you're supposed to stay very, very quiet on the train. Or wearing backpacks, like I think I mentioned before. Like, I've noticed a lot of people in Osaka talking on the train. It's fine. It's totally normal. I mean, it's generally quiet, but there's usually a few people talking, chatting, just because. So more social and definitely more approachable. And um, if they do have like, and if you do have to ask them a question and they have kind of a negative answer, they're more likely to tell you. Not that they're like super likely, like they're still Japanese people, but like compared to, especially apparently compared to Kyoto, Osaka people are a lot more straightforward. A lot of Japanese food is cooked with mirin or some kind of cooking alcohol instead of oil, and that's why a lot of Japanese food is not very greasy. Is just because it's not cooked in any kind of oil or butter, etc. It does make a lot of food have kind of a more gentle taste, and it's almost a sweet flavor, is something I've noticed. And an observation on the way to Nara is the fields are very gently organized, and the orchards are like very small orchards that we passed, just like looking down from the train on the way to Nara, are organized in very like clean fashions, but the orchards themselves are very large. And the trees have kind of been shaped so that they form kind of a roof. Some of them have even still have like nets above them so that the branches don't go past that point, and it makes a very interesting look, especially considering, you know, it's still winter right now, so none of them have leaves or flowers on them. So that is it for today, for this week. I will edit a lot of the not so great things out of this video, and I will see you